morning, good evening, welcome to everyone who joining me for this week's Fibre-Fit Craft and Live, where we can craft and craft and chat. We can craft and chat. So, words, obviously. I just realized my hair's a mess. Oops, sorry. I had my head in headphones and didn't even think about it. All right. So first things first, we got a little bit of housekeeping, just a little bit of housekeeping. Caffeinated Crafters tonight. I need those people that are thinking about coming to contact me so I can either make a booking or not make a booking. I know a lot of our regulars will not be there, so I'm tossing up whether we do it or not. So please contact me if you are planning on coming, or even if you're planning not to come to Caffeinated Crafters tonight at Club Beanley, because I need to sort out the booking or not. Productivity stream for this weekend is cancelled. I've got a lot of extra work on and I need to be available for that, unfortunately, so there will be no productivity stream. I know it seems weird that I'm cancelling something on a Saturday for work, but it's still Friday in the US, so getting a lot of stuff done for that, so I'll be cancelling that. And the other thing that I wanted to talk about briefly is Bendigo. This weekend is the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show down at the Bendigo Showgrounds. If you are in Victoria, like if that's where you live, if that's and you're not planning on going to Bendigo, and you like, why not? Seriously, why not? You should go. It is the biggest event of its kind in our country, and we need to support the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. So we have friends of the channel, friends of mine personally, who are stall holders there, so Gamer Widows. She'll be in her car and on her way to go and get into her accommodation and set up, so she probably won't be in the chat because she's going to be driving. She better not be in the chat if she's driving. That's all I'm saying about that. And so, you know, Sheba, who we love for her beautiful fibres, she's going to be at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show. The amazing, where is my little baggie? The amazing Crystal Cat Stitchery, who makes these fantastic bags and gave these to me. Like, she gave me this one and another to give away. Well, actually, I think I bought one and then she sent me 2 more to give away. I think that's how it worked out. She's going to be there, so these gorgeous bags are going to be there as well. All our favourite yarn dyes are going to be there, so you absolutely need to go to the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show if you can at all make it, and support all those people in our fantastic community. I just think if I could be there, I would be there in a heartbeat, and I really need to plan it better and actually go again. I haven't been since I was a stall holder, and I talk about it all the time. I'm like, I should go. What I need to do is lock it in, Eddie, and book it and plan it. Because the other catch of Bendigo is if you don't live locally or live within transportable distance, you've got to pay for accommodation. And it's such a popular event that a lot of the accommodation is booked out a year in advance. So unless somebody cancels last minute, the chances of you getting somewhere nice to stay is, you know, low, lowish. So yeah, so definitely worth keeping an eye on that. Oh, the Australian Yarn Store, she's there as well, and she's been running the Bendigo Knit Nights. That's already started, and so yeah, so you just need to get there and go and check it out. If you're in Victoria, if you're in Melbourne, jump on a train, go to Bendigo, drive out there. It's like 2 hours. You could do a day trip if you really wanted. I would probably just stay the night myself personally, but you could totally do a day trip. Definitely worth it. And I think Friday is the best day. Like if thumbs down, like in digging in, like make me choose a best day, Friday. It's got the most people, which for some people that's a bad thing, but that creates a really fantastic vibe and ambience. It's got less kids, which I think is also good. Like, sorry kids, I love kids. Kids are great. I don't want to have to be maneuvering around kids at a yarn show. But yeah, so it's absolutely Friday is the best day. So yeah. So they were sort of the biggest housekeeping things that I had. to remember. And I will mention them again. Bianca, if you can send me a message and I'll talk to you about that later. So not in the chat here, pop it into a DM or something like that. So that once the stream's over, I can sit down and go through the messages with my cup of tea and just check what's going on. Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many awesome vendors, lots of entertainment. Absolutely. Francis says that we say it every year that we should organize a minibus and our group goes. Absolutely. Molly says there's free buses from the train station to the show. Absolutely, there's shuttle buses, and I think that they're doing the mill and the showground. So I think you can get around a little bit. I think there's a little bit of getting around that you can do around Bendigo with the bus. Don't quote me on the mill. It's definitely doing the showgrounds. But yeah, it's just a phenomenal event, and I miss going, and I miss being a stall holder there. It was one of the big highlights of my year every year. The other business owners who just absolutely love fiber arts and fiber craft, just being in a place where everybody is on the same page is just so nice. Honestly, it's just so amazing. All right. So yeah, it is, everything is good. Everything is golden. All right. I do have craft. I haven't done much craft this week. I'm going to be honest. I've done a little bit of my retreat homework. I realized I'm not quite finished my retreat homework, so I probably should knuckle in and do that. And let me just check my emails just briefly. I'm waiting for one particular email, and then I can make an announcement. But until I have that email, I can't. I don't have it. I don't have the announcement. Sorry, you just have to wait. All right, so crafting stuff. What have we got in the crafting bag? My special bucket bag from Deb's Hands and Hearts. See, Deb's Hands and Hearts. With the little ice, all the little boba cups. Come on, boba. Let me have a look. Oh, Game Widows is here. Just doing my site safety thing before heading off. Awesome. You drive safe, Emma, and have an amazing weekend and keep warm. And wear comfy shoes. You know all that. Everyone wear comfy shoes. Oh, that's not the... Oops, I hit the wrong button. I moved my buttons around and I automatically hit the one that I think it was supposed to be. So in my bucket today, we've got my knitting. Move that over here. So I'm still obsessed. I'm like, I need more swivels. So what are you caught up on there? Nothing important. That's good. I haven't done any of this since the last stream. So, do you know what I did? Like, it's so dumb. I was cutting tomato, as you do, and just the very tip of my tomato knife just sliced the tip of my thumb, just a little tiny bit. Just tiny little, nothing grotesque or anything, but just enough to be catching on everything. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. It's catching on everything. And it's driving me insane. So, yay me. I'm just going to zoom this in just a smidgy dash more. There we go. Alrighty. So you guys I've got water because now I've got an issue in my brain if I don't have fresh water in here. I have Andrew Ken's voice telling me he's going to send me a pallet load of bottles of water. I also have a big Yeti of tea. So I'm good. I've got lots of liquids. Agreed, Leanne. I hope Emma has a sellout weekend. Actually, I don't want my tea over there. That's too far away. That's way too far away for the tea. All right, let's see if we can get through a row of, not stuffing it up. Man, I still love how these feel. Like, just look, I know not everybody likes a quad, right? I get that. And I love that we have so many options, but holy dooly, like, these are amazing. I've used the Nova Cubics. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I think that they don't They don't feel nice. Oh, I'm gonna have to get a Band-Aid or something for that. That's driving me insane. I'm knitting. Yeah, so I don't think all of the square needles are good. But these, I would actually like I hope you're all sitting down. But I actually think these are nicer than the collage needles. Now I love the collage needles, and I don't want to poo-poo on the collage needles. The collage needles are fantastic. I think these are better. That just talks about how good these are. Not doesn't poo-poo on the collage. Just talks about how good these are. So I think if you're a ChiaoGoo user, I highly recommend you hit up your local ChiaoGoo dealer and get yourself some tips, but also grab yourself a set of the swivels, the little mini swivels that are the little connected, and make sure you connect them properly. Thank you to Kelly for helping me with that. Look, this is driving me. I'm going to see if I can just off camera, I'm just going to see if I can just trim off the little piece of hanging skin, at least just to stop it from catching on everything. I didn't make it bleed. Nope, good. Because I think the combination of both the fantastic tips and also the cables now swiveling seamlessly. There's no joins. There's nothing like that. We all know how much I hated the swiv cables, right? Actually, speaking of which, I found some out in the lounge room that I need to put back in the case. Like how big a step up it was in here because they swiveled at the cable connection before, whereas now they swivel at the top connection. And I just think it makes the world of difference. So yeah, I brought these in because I've been slowly putting all my tips and cables back into cases and what have you. Now, I did not end up finding any of my onion clips. I didn't look very hard, I'll be honest. I sort of forgot about it until right now to turn my little folder sleeves and connect them into the middle of the thing. But what I did find was a way that you could connect the clips, like the actual proper clips. There's a way to have them with press studs on the back, so you can put the press studs into the middle of your case and press stud it in, and then you've got the proper metal clips. So I'm going to look at that and see if I can do that. How hard that would be, like, you know, can I find all the hardware for it? I've got what I need to put the press studs into the thing. I've got a big cam press. That's not an issue there. But just, you know, having all the rest of it, all the bits and bobs to make it work. Oh. Yarn bath in the middle. See you, Game Widows. Have an amazing trip. Drive very safely and say hi to Shiv for us. Oh, Molly says that she made some lemon cordial last night, so she has a delicious lemon drink. Well, that is awesome. Love a nice lemon drink. That's something I'll say that I was so surprised about in the USA. So I was in Texas it's 2 years ago now, 2024, right? Feels like a lifetime ago. Anyway, the thing that I really noticed was when I ordered a lemonade with my dinner one night, expecting clear, bubbly lemonade, right? Like a Sprite or a 7-Up or something. No, if you want a Sprite or a 7-Up, you have to ask for them by name because they will give you lemonade, non-bubbly, sweet lemonade, which was amazing. And I made sure I got that because that was amazing. And it was just something that we don't get here like that. It was just so nice. So I do like a nice lemon drink. Like I especially like if it's like got a little bit of sweetness, but it's also got that balance of the tang as well, because the lemon needs a little bit of tang. So yeah. Oh no, I botched it up already. How far back did I botch it? Pearls. 2 sections back. How nice is a good set of pointy tips, honestly. Now, I bought a pattern yesterday. I may have bought 2, but one in particular, one was already in my cart. I'd been tossing up about it and forgot it was there and then just pressed buy, right? The other one is this thing, right? I saw an Instagram post and I shared it with some friends of this lady. She's made a little mini version of this particular shawl and then she cuts up the sides of it because it's steeked. And then you create fringing where the steaks are and then you block it and it looks amazing. And those of you that have been around the channel a while, you know how I feel about steeking. I've never done it because I'm terrified of cutting my own knitting. I don't want to wreck my knitting, and I probably would wreck my own knitting because that's what would happen. But the pattern gives you both a mini version so you can test it out. So I could make like a little tiny version for like a toy or something, or a bear or whatever, or for no reason, and just drape it off my back thing over there, my beautiful display of stuff. Could just drape it there. Before I go ahead and do the real deal, because it looks like such a cool thing. I'm just going to jump into Ravelry and find it so I can show it to you, because it's on sale, or at least it was yesterday. Let me just check patterns, and then it's called the Friendship Shawl, and it's got such an interesting construction. You guys know how I feel about an in construction thing. So what you need to do is you need to go and find Carissa Browning's Instagram. It's got the code for the discount. I think it's like about a 10% discount. Now, I know I could absolutely just give it to you, but the point of these codes and things is so that these different designers get a bit of traffic, and I'm not going to take that away from her. So you need to go and check out Carissa Browning, I should say. So I'm just looking to see if there's any of these shawls where they're totally laid out so you can see how it looks. So this is the little mini shawl that there's a video of her cutting it so you can see it. And it brings around, so if you're doing like lots of colors and stuff, you can see how you've got the purple is also on the tops of the tips. It's just because of how it's made. Let me just see if I can. Did you know, I did not, that steeking happens in crochet when using the waistcoat stitch? I'm watching a lady who's about to do that with a jacket crochet. No, I didn't know that. That also terrifies me. Good morning, Deb. I was just showing off your bag. I was just showing it off. This beautiful little bag right here with your Deb's hands and hearts little logo on it. Showed that off before because it's my current project bag. So yeah, so this is the thing. Let me just see if we've got any other people who've made it. They might have some better photos. Let's have a look, because I'd like to see a photo of it like blocking or something like that so you can see how the colors go. Oh, there we go. This chickie here, she's done great. So see how you've got the blue is there, and there? It's because of how it's knitted. You steek through this section here and then spread it out. And so you do get all the colors everywhere, which is just so, oh, this is another good one here. So you can see where it's all balanced, and you get at the front, you get the same as what you've got at the back. And I just think that's just so very cool. And I absolutely want to try it. So, I think I'm torn. Let me know in the chat. Would you, especially like considering I've never steeked, okay? Like that's the big consideration here. Never steeked in my life. Just fixing my little box up. There we go. Never steeked anything in my life. Never snipped a single stitch out of a project that I was planning on keeping. I have snip stitches just to, if I made a terrible mistake. But never anything that I was planning on keeping. Would you make like a little mini version first and then try a big one, not really knowing what you're going to do at the mini version, and then you can't reclaim the yarn because it's all trimmed? Or would you put on your big girl pants and just go with the full shawl? Because it's a lot of meters. It's more than one skein, so it's an investment in yarn, and it's more than one skein of 4-ply. And I want to do it. I do want to do it. I'm just a bit nervous. I'm scared, to be honest. I'm a little bit scared. It's a sneaking project. I had to put my knitting down because of like, but I'm a little bit scared because it's a full steeking project. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm gonna have to move the buttons back around, but I don't. Yeah, I don't know. Is doing the mini, like, I'm like, is the mini version just a waste? Or will it be enough just to sort of get it out of my system and I won't want to make the big one? Yeah. Oh, Bianca says here, for sure, I'm sure it would be one of the many emotional support chickens. I actually haven't made an emotional support chicken, so I'd have to donate it to somebody who has one who wants a little shawl for their emotional support chicken, because you're right, it would look so cute. All right, let's have a look here. Leanne says, it's awesome. You can make a little version and have a cutty cut. Yes. Holly says, I would do the mini version first. Bianca says that we could make it for the chickens. Leanne says, yes, mini first. Yeah, I don't know. Francis says, big girl pants and go for it. Because I'm actually leaning towards this, Francis, because I think that if I do the mini, I may just go, yep, I've made one. I don't need to make another one. And then I bought a pattern for a mini, if that makes it like, and all I made was a mini. Like, you know, like, what do I do there? Like, it's one of those things. You could make one for Louis and that's your test run. I think he'd just eat the fringing. I really think he'd just chew it up. Molly says, I would do it with mini skeins of yarn that are in the naughty basket. Well, and this is one of the things that somebody actually made their full shawl with a pile of mini skeins, because I think that they would, same thing. They're a bit nervous about using the good yarn. And they just made it with a pile of mini skeins. And it's, from what I'm hearing, I'm trying to see if I can find it. That one's a hand spun that was spun that way. But here, I'll just jump back over to this guy. This one here, it's been spun in not so much, I don't think it's, she goes, I knit this using hand spun rambouillet. So I think it's just how the yarn has been spun like that, but you get the idea of like all the short colors. But yeah, so like, and someone here was, they're planning on mini skeins, but they haven't done, there's no other photos. I think this one here was mini skeins. Did she? Oh, look at that. You can see the whole blocking process there and the fringing. Oh no, that was not mini skeins. That's a serious yarn right there. That is very cool. For some reason I thought that was mini skeins. That's amazing. Someone had a lot of fun dyeing that long color repeat. But yeah, so there's lots of scariness for it. Dolores says, so option 3 is make a tube with a steek just the size of a sock to test the steek. Then sleep better knowing you can do it and then go for the full size. Yeah, I think if I was going to do something small, I probably would do the mini shawl. Just because then I haven't just, like, what do you do with that? Like, do you just bin it, like Dolores? Like, what happens with it afterwards? Or is it like, or is there something I could use it for? I mean, I honestly, I don't know the answer to that. So, Gabby says, do the mini one first to give you the confidence to go the big one. Francis says, use it as a challenge to try steeking. Sandy, hey Sandy. Sandy says sometimes we overthink things and we end up regretting it. Just do it. Gee, Sandy. Ouch. That's like a big fish to the face, because the reason why is because it's so true. It's exactly me. Totally overthinking it. Like, it's yarn, dude. It's not life and death. It's yarn. And it's not like you don't have a serious supply of sock yarn. Like, oh no, I can't afford to waste 20 grams of sock yarn to make a mini and screw it up. Ooh, no, that's not the case. That is not the case at all. So I think you might be right. I think you might be right on this one. Just stop. Hang on, come over here, little head. There we go. Just, overthinking it. Overthinking it. Now I'm like, ooh, which sock yarn will I do? I've actually got a pile of my Fibrofic minis. Actually, should I use my Fibrofic? Sorry, not sorry. I love that, Sandy. Am I doing? Yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I'm just checking because, how often do I do the wrong thing with this knitting? It's like, this blanket's going to take me 11 billion years the way it's going, with the sheer amount of thinking back and fixing it. I mean, at least I'm fixing it. Like, let's be honest. So Dolores says, yeah, I'm just mean a small swatch size. You either bin it or make a mug rug. Yeah, I probably would just make, like, they've got a mini version of the pattern, just to sort of, so you get an idea of the construction and then the steeking, and it's big enough for a toy. And so I'm seriously considering that. But if you go to her social media, so Carissa Browning, if you go to her Instagram, there is a discount code, or at least there was yesterday. I used it. I think it was 10% off. I think it was about 10% off. I'll take 10% off how much is the pattern? Let me look. Yeah, 10% off an €6 pattern. I'll take that for sure. Aussie dollar being the way it is. Hey, Affordably Crafty, good to see you. Good to see you. Purling. So yeah, so I think I will make the mini, and I will find one of my friends who have made a chicken and offer them a chicken shawl, because then I don't feel like that, because that's the thing. Like, when I make these sort of samples, what do I do with the sample? Usually I make my samples into face washes so that I've got an abundance of face washes. But this is not cotton. And also, this is, going to have a fringe on it, which is not face washer friendly, at least in my opinion. I mean, you have fringes on your face washes, then that's cool. You do you, boo. But yeah. Oh, I saw something happen on Facebook the other day, and I thought it was going to be a total dumpster fire, and then it wasn't, and it was amazing. So, hang on a second, let me have a sip of my tea. So, somebody on Facebook had scored a whole pile of, like, I think it was like 3 or 5 ply baby yarn. I think it was 4 ply baby yarn. It was 2 different posts, which is where I'm getting confused, because someone else got a whole bucket of 5 ply. So there was this particular lady scored a whole pile of 4 ply baby yarn, and she wanted to know if she could hold 2 together and treat it like a thicker yarn. And I was expecting, I was expecting the whole, like, just hold it together and it's 8 ply, 4 and 4 is 8. I was expecting that. And do you know what? Out of every comment, only one person said that. Everybody else said actually to probably come out to more like a 10 ply, because 4 plus 4 plus 2, which is 1 for each of the ends, gives you a better idea. And I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody's getting it. It's so good. I was so excited. I was just ridiculously excited to see a Facebook post that I thought that was going to be a dumpster fire just be so helpful for someone. And yeah, it was just so good, because she was like, oh, do I need to swatch it, blah, blah. So I just said, look, you will need to give it a swatch and then give it a wash, and then see how you like the fabric, and check the gauge for yourself. A good place to start would be, like, I gave it like all the advice. Anyway, I can't wait to see what she does. So I'm going to be really honest, affordably crafty. I'm terrible with names. I'm absolutely awful with names. So I know you've told me your name is Kim, and I will try to remember it. But please don't be offended if I don't, because I'm absolutely terrible with names. My brain puts people's names with their face, and it only works when I'm in person. And so when I'm online here, I tend to just go with whatever the handle is. So so that I don't mess it up. And I don't accidentally call you like Sarah or something because my brain got it wrong. Because Sarah's not your name. That's right, Bianca. I didn't even have to get onto my soapbox. I didn't at all. And it was just so good to see. I mean, it may have changed overnight. The tide may have shifted and more people may have come and going, oh, no, it'll just be A plot. I do it all the time. And it may well be with that particular yarn. You just don't know. And which is why you need to test it and wash it and see how it comes out. And especially with old yarn, it looked to be very old yarn. So, old yarn doesn't always age the best. People are like, oh, I've got this vintage yarn, and then they go to use it and it just literally crumbles. Oh, they don't make it as good as they used to. It's like, no, it's just not designed to last 70 years. Kelly, I agree with you. The average crafter that doesn't understand spinning, I get. But I don't understand when big designers say 2 times 4 ply equals 8 ply. Oh, they're just perpetuating a myth. That's all they're doing. They're perpetuating a myth. And it's just, and whenever I see a designer do that and say that, I second guess purchasing from them, because if they don't understand the yarn that they're using for their job, then what are they even doing? Like, what are they even doing? So yeah, I totally agree with you on that one for sure. Well, just threw that right across the room. Good job, mate. Did you see that? I literally pushed it off with my finger and just went yeeted. Bye-bye. Okay. Alrighty, we are nearly at the end. And I may have just jinxed myself. We'll see. There's that spot that I've got to get through that I trash every single time. I can't seem to get through it without mixing it up. So this week's viewing on television has been a TV series called Endeavour, which is basically the prequel to the Morse detective series. So it's Endeavour Morse is his name, which he hates. He doesn't like that his first name's Endeavour. But yeah, so it's him when he was sort of just coming up through like as a young officer through the police. So it's actually been really cool. Like I've really been enjoying it. So, the episodes are very long. They're like for episodes of television these days. I think they're an hour and a half an episode. So they're like movie length episodes. So a bit Midsummer Murderies in that regard. And so, but yeah, I've been really enjoying it. It's sort of set in I think it's set in the 50s or 60s, something like that. Definitely after, oh, wait, no. It might be the 40s. It might be the 40s. The 40s in Britain. No. Oh, I don't know. I'd have to Google it. So I'm really enjoying it, and it's just such a fun show. And like I love the characters, and it's so well written, and it's just a lot of fun. I mean, it's a murder mystery, and the murders are good murders. So, take it's a lot of fun with a grain of salt, okay? It is not a light show. And I still haven't watched Project Hail Mary yet, even though it's on Prime and I can absolutely sit down and watch it. And I keep going to watch it, and then my brain is just in this space where like I I want to give the show more than what my brain is currently able to give it. I'm probably overthinking that, but I've like such high hopes for it, and I really just don't want my hopes dashed. So if I go in with like a bad attitude, Bianca says it's a lot more gritty than Midsummer Murders. Um, yeah, but it's 4 1.5 hour episodes. Oh, it's definitely more gritty than Midsummer Murders for sure. But yeah, I just meant the show format. We're knitting at the start, and knitting at the end. So what are you all working on? Like I'm making this blanket to get through some scraps, and then this afternoon I'm going to Bunnings. I meant to go yesterday, and I totally got sidetracked with work. I'm going to Bunnings, and I'm buying a particular trolley thing that I love the look of to put all my sewing stuff on, because I've got so much stuff stacked up for retreat in here that I've had to shove all my sewing stuff over here, and now to get in and out of my door, like I've got a big open space. I've got an open enough space here for my chair, but I've got a gap like that wide that I've got to kind of either creep through or step over boxes to get out the door. And I don't like it. And I know that if I just put all my sewing stuff up on a trolley, I just shove the trolley around. And because like all of this here, this is all sewing stuff behind me here. And it would all go on the trolley. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and do that today. Knitting. I'm up to knitting. Just double checking I didn't do knitting the last section. And then we're going to do some more knitting. So yeah, so this shawl looks so good, and it's like between that and the new crochet shawl that I made. Like, let me know if you guys missed that last week. But I absolutely need to make another one of those gloaming shawls. So that's another crochet shawl because I've been wearing it all week. Like I've just had it tucked off to the side, and whenever I get a bit cold, I've got the clip on it, so I just pull it over my head like a cow. Because I've left the shawl pin plugged in. Plugged in? Is that a thing? Yeah, plugged in. Let's have a look here. Sandy says, sorry, we'll go with Bianca first. Bianca says that she is making a brioche shawl. That's awesome. Oh, Google says it's 1965 to 72. Oh, cool, because it looked 50s to 60s, but then they kept referencing the war. So I was just like, I was a bit confused. So that's awesome. So thank you for that. That's Endeavour. It's set in the 50s and 60s in Oxford. No, yeah, in Oxford in England. All right. Sandy is working on her cruise project by Hooked on Sunshine. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Affordably Crafty says, I should be working on my whips, but no, my brain was like, perhaps start a wearable instead. Let's do a pullover hoodie using Karen anniversary cake, size 2XL. I mean, as long as that's your size, or that's the size that's going to be someone who's going to wear it, then why not? Why not? Make it. You're not in the right place if you want people to stop you from casting on. This is not that place. We're all going to be like, that sounds cool. You should do that. Francis says, I'm knitting today. I need a brain break. So that's one thing I really want to talk about today. Like, thank you so much for actually bringing that up, because I want to know how many of us here actually just literally craft relaxation. It's not for like I mean, I don't consider making a pile of presents for relaxation. They've got time frames, they've got goals. Like, I'm not talking about anything that you need to get finished within a specific time frame. Like, it's going to be a gift, it has to be ready by now, or this is to be sold, it has to be ready right now. Do you know what I mean? Like, so something that doesn't have a deadline, so non-deadline craft. Except for, personally imposed deadlines is different. That's a different thing. But if it's like a gift or something like that. So how many of us here actually just craft for the sake of crafting, just to relax, just to sort of unwind. Let's have a look here. I'm going to keep going while we all answer that question. Is the list not showing up? Let me just, so it should be exclamation LIST. Let me just go here. It should be working. I haven't shut down anything. Let me. Oh, I have to reload this. Hang on a second. Find the chat is there, so it should be doing it. No, it's really not doing it. So let me just. I'm going to give this a little jiggle. The software for the list is what I'm doing. So I'm going to kill that. And then weird. All right. I'm going to shut Social Stream Ninja and then restart it, okay? So Social Stream Ninja is the software that we use to get all the cool things on screen, bring over the comments and what have you. So what's really bizarre is it was populating, but it's not bringing it across. So let me just open up this, activate the source, make sure I'm signed in. Oh, it signed me out. That's the problem. All right, hang on a second. I'm not screen sharing, am I? No, I'm not. All right, bear with. It's being painful. So, hang on. Bear with. I needed the password. I didn't want to open it. You great twonk. All right. Okay. Alrighty. So while this is happening, Affordably Craft says actually engaging in making portion crochet or all the research, price comparison, pattern perusal. You find all that exciting and awesome. So that's good. I actually like doing all of it, but I mean like the actual act, because the actual act of knitting and crocheting without the stress of the deadline creates extra, like all the neurons run differently, so it actually creates like the scientific like physical, what's the word, my brain won't give me the word, like there's particular endorphins that your body creates. So we've done sign in. All right, let's see. Well, I don't know why the list isn't working, honestly. So let's see if we can. No, that's not Social Stream Ninja. This is Social Stream Ninja. So let's go here. Sources and settings. We want, it's the GIF commands, they're working. It's the text commands that aren't. Are the GIF commands working? Can somebody test a GIF command? So that's where you put in, if you know one off the top of your head, like hydrate or coffee or something like that, or I think even Yeti is one. If you know a GIF command, throw it in the chat off the top of your head and we'll see if we can't get these working today. But it's the text one that didn't seem to be working rather than the GIF one. Okay, so the GIFs are working. It's just list that's not working. Let's see if BMAC works. Did that work? Well, that one worked. All right, so why is list not working? And list works now. Okay, all right, they're working. Maybe just turning it off and on again did the job. It did the job. We know it does it. We know it does it sometimes. Oh man, that's starting to catch again. We know it. We know it does the job sometimes. It just is. It's just hilarious. It's just hilarious. All right, yeah, there was absolutely a squirrel moment right there. Now, so let me go back to where we were talking about the relaxing. So Dolores does both deadlines and prezzies and a relaxation knit. So you've got it separated out for yourself as well. So that is good. Affordably Craft says moving forward, moving projects forward for my channel with deadlines is about 40%. Okay. That's good. Oh, Deb, I love this. Anything I pick up after dinner is purely relaxation. That's actually a really great. You've given yourself that sort of delineation between craft for work versus craft for yourself. And I think that's a really important thing to do. Leanne says, there's a light bulb moment. I do a heck of a lot of projects that I must get done, and sometimes that puts me off. And that's what I need, things that are not on a time frame. That's one of the things I'm loving about this particular blanket, right? Like I'm like, what, 3 inches in, maybe 3 inches in on a blanket. Okay. There is no deadline for this blanket. It is a blanket that I decided to make to use some stash. There's no deadline. And one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it is because of how relaxing I'm finding doing this. And it's like it's nearly like it's off-putting that I'm so relaxed while working on this project, because it's like totally chill. And when I made the gloaming shawl, there was no deadline. There was no reason that I even started it. I just decided I wanted to work on that particular project. I'm not sure if it's a dopamine. It's what it, because it's the one that creates the relaxation where your muscles release. So I think it's a different endorphin. I should have written it down. I had it and I've lost it. It's gone. Francis says, if I need a recovery day, I'll do an easy craft, calms my brain after a stressful day. Yeah, like those of you that have been around the channel for a while, you know that for me, when my brain is playing silly buggers and is not being kind to me, or I'm totally overwhelmed or stressed about decisions that I have to make, then I find that I crochet, right? I crochet rather than knit, because crochet is my first craft, and it's my relaxation. It's what I do when I need to not think. And I think that's why the gloaming shawl worked to calm me down better than this did, because this is not hard. I mean, obviously, I've just realized there's a spot there that I botched up. It's not hard. It's just, it's not quite the same level of relaxation as I find crochet to be. Like, so we all have our first crafts. We all have the one that we do find slightly better than the other. Like, no judgment on either of the crafts, because we love all the yarn crafts here. But as individuals, we do have the one that is more our comfort zone. So like, I knit and crochet, and I'm a pretty confident knitter. But crochet I can just about do in my sleep. And so, you know, just knowing that, like last week when I was trying to just, this wasn't cutting it. This project was not being relaxing. It was not doing what I wanted it to do. I needed a project where I could just chill while I worked on it, because no stress. There's no deadlines. There's no There's nothing, to worry about. It's just a project for my house in yarn and colors that I just happen to have in the stash. There's no additional financial burden. Blankets can sometimes be a bit of a financial burden when it comes to crafting. Um, and I just, wanted to make a blanket to use up some of the shame yarn, right? And so because to um, I needed to knit it rather than crochet it to get the meterage and to get the size of the blanket that I wanted, then that sort of changed the dynamic on the project a little bit. Not in a bad way. It's also my first knitted blanket, I think. I've started knitting a blanket before and then I frogged it. I don't have I have not made a knitted blanket to the point where an adult could use it. I've made one little square baby blanket that was like a corner to corner square one that you knitted. But yeah, Isabel Crafts is here mainly for relaxation, and it stops me from snacking. Well, your hands are busy. The hands are busy, that's actually a really, really valid point. And you don't want to get your hands dirty because you don't want to do the kind of snacks that end up like dirtying up your fibers. Let's have a look. This is where we were testing everything. Sandy says, I do find that I enjoy crochet a lot more when there is no deadline. I'm noticing that the actual act of movement in crochet very relaxing. And that's the thing, isn't it? Like the second we add a deadline to anything, it adds a level of pressure and not maybe not stress, but there is definitely a level of pressure. Like you don't want to let somebody down. It's a gift, or it's, you promise this to somebody, or whatever the reason why it's got the deadline, it has a deadline. And if you're making a gift, like if you're making something that you're going to gift at the end, but there's still no deadline, that counts. That counts here. But it's more than if you've got like okay, I'm making my brother a beanie for his birthday. It's got to be done by the time you see him for his birthday, like that sort of thing. Whereas if you're like, I'm making this for the gift box to go in the cupboard, that when I see somebody who needs a gift, I can go in there and pick something out. That's a different kind of gifting. It's still gifting, and it's still a good heart, but the stress behind, or not even so much stress, but the pressure behind having it done by a certain time is gone. Let's have a look here. Bambi's in the house. Good to see you, Bambi. I like the mode. I like that mode linked to the time for relaxing the craft. It's a great idea. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Absolutely. Project Hail Mary is quite different. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I've seen lots of little bits and bobs, like little promo, where people have put little snippets on the internet, and I really want to enjoy it. And I should just sit down and put it on, honestly. I really should just do it. I'm probably building it up too much because I'm like, I don't want to ruin it because I was in the wrong frame of mind and I was watching it or something. No. No. Knitspin Girl says, I watched Project Hail Mary last night. It was really, really good. Oh, that's good. Affordably Craft says, I liked Project Hail Mary too. So did Bianca. That's awesome. I haven't heard any bad reviews. There have been some people that have said it's a bit different than the book, and the book went slightly more in one direction and then the movie went slightly more in another direction, but it wasn't technically wrong, just focusing on different things. And that happens. That happens. It made me think of a COVID era movie. Great excuse for only having one actor present. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, you may have only got one actor on screen, but there was the puppeteer for Rocky was right there, or at least one of the puppeteers. So, yeah. But yeah, I think it's also good. I just think it was like, from what I've seen, it was just a well-made movie, which is so nice. Molly says, I can't for fun and also gifting. So so is it I can't for fun, or you crochet for fun and also gifting, and then your phone or something corrected you? I don't know. Like, let me can you clarify that one up for me a little bit? Thank you. Uh, it's like the complete opposite of the master knitter certificate. Oh, yeah, I can imagine. I haven't done the master knitter certificate. I've seen what some friends who've done it went through. It looks very stressful. Um, I am not a master knitter. I just get that out there right now. I knit for enjoyment. I am by no means a master knitter. And kudos to everybody who puts themselves through the master knitter program, because it's insane. Affordably Craft says December 25 looms on the horizon. Look, I'm going to be really honest. There's a lot of people in my life who are not knit worthy. My brothers and dad and everybody, all the boys, they're all beanie worthy. They all want beanies. They all love the beanies. That's fine. And when it comes to blankets and stuff like that, but like shawls and stuff, like that's a whole nother level of care that just a lot around me are just not willing to do. Yeah. And I actually care about what happens to the projects I pour 60, 100 hours into. I like to know that they're being looked after. So yeah. But I do have a blanket I have to get done. It's actually one of these. It's a whole box of yarn here. It's I've got the yarn for it. I've just got to choose the design and sit down and do it. So yeah. But like I may have chosen a slightly too bright a yellow, the slightly wrong shade of yellow for it. And I'm torn as to whether or not I just put in another Knit Picks order and get another yellow. But then what do I do with this yellow that I've got? And it's just like, is anyone going to care that much? Prob's not. Prob's not. Maybe I'm, again, overthinking the project. Oh, I'll tell you something I did do. I got myself some new drive bands for my spinning wheel, so I can set up for some spinning. So we're going to set up a spinning stream coming up soon. But the other thing that I did is Margicraft have got some colours. I don't have these on my website yet, but we have teal and purple bobbins, frosted teal and purple, which they look gorgeous. These are not up on my website. I've got to update all the Margicraft stuff. So keep an eye out for that. I'll put an announcement out when I've updated it. But these are gorgeous. So I want to fill my new bobbins with some fibres. But I don't want to, I've got actually another craft that I'm going to finish before I can start spinning. Which is a quilting project. I know. It'll be my first quilt. Abby wants a particular quilt. She has chosen all the fabrics of her choices. She has we've got all the stuff. I've got everything. I've no excuses now. I've done the test squares. I bought some. I don't think it's out here. Oh yes, it is. I bought some of this Magic Premium Quilting Spray, and I've tested out because I've been watching some videos to learn some quilting stuff because it's not my natural habitat. And one of the issues I have with sewing is I'm terrible at cutting fabric, right? That's a skill and I don't have it. And so I was reading up on how to be better at that, because especially with these blocks that I've got to do, they're just here. I just went and grabbed the blocks. Especially like with these blocks that I've got to do, right? There's lots of, pointy bits, and I want everything to be, good, right? So I want to give myself the best chance I have of getting it right. And the biggest thing is distorting the fabric when you're cutting it, right? So I've done a few things. One is I got this. So it's like a starch spray, but it's actually non-starch. So and when you actually like, and it was amazing. Like I had a big crunchy piece. Louis has a toy that he's ripped a hole in. So I decided to create a little patch. I put a bit of iron-on interfacing on the inside of the hole, ironed on some fabric, then stitched it on, right? So the piece of fabric that I was using was just a little crunched up scrap. So I sprayed a bit of this on it, and I'm not kidding, before my eyes, the wrinkles just went gone. Like before the iron even went on, right? Just like I'm like, magic is right. Hang on a second. Do I have some scrunched up fabric handy? I probs do. Here we go. I'm just going to give you a demonstration of what happened. I have a little pad here. This is some scrunched up fabric. Now, usually it would take a bit of ironing to get some of these big creases out. So think of like the creases when you buy the fabric. I end up making bags that have a permanent crease in them because I couldn't get it out, and then I interfaced it, and then the crease stays there and I can't get rid of it. So, is this open? So I just gave it a good spray and then just waited. I just sort of spread it around a bit because I was impatient, but I just waited a bit. And then it just, like, I don't know if you can see, all the small creases are gone. They're all gone. The big one is no longer hard. You can still see it, but it doesn't have this, see how over here there's this sharpness to it? It doesn't have that, and it actually it's softening off and softening off and softening off. And so and then basically when you iron it, which my iron, it's actually plugged in. I could iron it. Hang on a second. My iron's plugged in. I just need to turn it on. So basically it does create the slight stiffness that you get. So if you don't want that, this is not what you use. But it does create the stiffness, which means that when you cut out your squares or your pieces, they hold their shape better. And so I've been watching a lot of like quilting content on YouTube, and there's this whole like pre-wash versus don't pre-wash versus starch versus don't, like there's camps for everything, right? But basically the resounding thing is, if you struggle with cutting properly and neat squares and neat things, starching might be the thing for you. Okay? So, you know, it's what it is. It's just I've also learnt that I'm not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to just go like that. But there you go. Oh, that's still a bit wet. I'm just trying to get rid of the wetness. All I'm doing is ironing out the moisture now, just to make sure the fabric's dry. There's a bit of a wet spot over here. I think I sprayed a bit too much of the... I'm adjusting. Obviously, I've not squirted much out of this thing. All right, turn that back off. Get that back over there. Oops. It fell over. So now it's just got a light, it's not too hard. It's definitely got, like, it bends, but you can definitely feel the difference. Like this is soft and pliable, like it's still bendy, like, because I didn't iron that bit. I haven't even ironed that, let alone starched it. But this bit, it's still pliable, but it holds its shape and it holds its stuff together. And there's no smell. That's the other big thing. There's no smell. I was looking at some of the others. Like, so we've gone from that to that. But yeah, no smell whatsoever. Because I was looking at, there's a particular brand, right, that everyone seems to use for their spray quilting, for their spray starch. and I nearly bought it, and then I was watching reviews, and then everybody was saying, oh, when you spray it, you just cough a little bit. And I was just like, how is that not a big old red flag of don't spray this? You know, like, and like even people like who don't like, my asthma is in such a way that if I start coughing, I keep coughing. My asthma, I have bronchial asthma, my asthma attacks are coughing fits. So the thought of just randomly spraying something that I knew was going to start me coughing was like, oh my gosh, that was awful. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want that. So this one's called Magic Premium Quilting and Crafting Spray. And I will say, you can get it at Spotlight, but I got it way cheaper off Amazon. So I think it was like, off the top of my head, it was like $36 at Spotlight or $23 at Amazon. So guess which way I went? Sorry, Spotlight. But yeah, so it's just made a big difference. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to sitting down, well, not sitting down, standing at my big iron press and just pressing all the pieces, just giving them a light spray with this, because most of them aren't crunchy. They're folded nicely. And so, yeah, well, I'm allergic to so many smells. And like, there's no smell. No, it just smells like the rest of the fabric. Yeah. No, it's unscented. But it's also technically not starch. So I don't know what it is. I mean, there's an ingredients list somewhere. Where was it? There's an ingredients list there. So screenshot the ingredients list. But it's made in the USA. And it does the job. It seems to do the job just fine. So I'm going to give it a try on the blanket I'm making for my daughter, doing these stars. And I'll make sure I do the stars properly and don't accidentally turn them into diamonds. So yeah, it was just, and thank you for letting me show you this other craft that I'm also interested in. But yeah, it was just really interesting to me at how quickly it works. So you could pre-spray a pile of fabric and then sort of just have it resting as you get it through the iron. And that's what I plan on doing. So, because yeah, I too am super sensitive to scents. So, the second I was seeing people were like coughing due to the smell, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, that is such a red flag. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a really popular one and everyone uses it, and it comes in like peach flavored and not flavored, peach scented and rose scented and all these other things. Yarning for a smile, I feel you. I also am allergic to lavender. And people just forget. Like, and you look at something and you think, oh, that looks good. That doesn't seem to have any lavender. And then you turn it over and it's lavendula. And you're like, oh, well, I can't use that one. So cool. Cool for that. But yeah, no, I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, it's bad for my skin. It makes my skin come off. Like, it's bad for my skin staying on my body. It's also bad for my lungs. I can't breathe. So, yeah. Oh, best press. That's what it is. Yes, best press. And everyone loves it and everyone waxes lyrical about it. But apparently there is a non-scented version of best press that apparently doesn't make people cough. But I just thought I'd try this other one instead. It was easy. I could actually get it from an Australian seller. So best press, I think I had to wait for it to come over. Like, I think it was, I've got an Amazon Prime account. I wasn't paying any difference in postage or anything like that, but it was a time thing. But I think there was a local Australian store that had it, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, but then I thought, you know what? Like, do I really want to buy the thing that's making people... Oh, I couldn't get the unscented in Australia. I could only get the peach. That's what it was. or rose, peach or rose I could get in Australia, but I had to get the unscented from the US. Um, but yes, apparently Best Press has an unscented, and lots of people are moving over to that. So if you are in the US and you are looking for Best Press that doesn't make you cough, check out the unscented version, or just give that magic spray a try. Um, so yeah. Um, but yeah, it's just one of these, it's just super, it's a super cool little thing that it just gets rid of this. It just literally gets rid of the creases. And when I'm bag making and stuff like that, and I've got to cut out the fabric because, as I said, I'm awful at cutting out fabric. Oh, hello, big nasty bit coming up. Yeah. Um, I'm really hoping that it helps me to not distort my cuts anymore. I've also bought some new cutting rulers, and I've bought a rotating cutting mat so that I can, like, I don't have to pick up and move the fabric as much to cut the pieces. So it should also give me the best chance at not distorting it. I did some Googling, and you know what Googling does? It means you end up with more things in your shopping cart. Oh, you know what? That's awful. Let me just see if I can thin that out any. Get rid of that. So it's at least the right color. Knit, knit, and purl. There we go. That made the big difference there. We just picked off the big fluffy bit of the wrong color, and that made it blend in a bit better. Even though it's a little chunky, at least it's not also chunky and the wrong color. I'm the same. If I'm paying for Prime, then why wait? Go for the fastest and get your money's worth. Yeah. And I love that I can get stuff from the US without paying extra, but if I don't have to wait for the US, why would I? The baby quilt I need to bind is my first pieced quilt. The more I look at it, the more squares are a bit out of alignment. It's not dramatic, and I don't think the tiny one will mind. The tiny one's not going to mind at all. It's not going to mind at all. And yeah, you should just bind it. Leanne says it's crazy windy here. Apparently we have 4 days of crazy weather ahead. Really? Nah, I don't want 4 days of crazy weather. Yarning for a Smile says, I tend to bulk cut fabric and stack it and always need to retouch up, and that stuff does help a lot. It's been a while since I sold bags, but having something to cut down the iron time is a win. Yeah, I just make bags myself. I don't sell bags. I like making bags myself or for gifts and things like that. I've got so many cool friends making bags for their businesses that I've got like amazing inspiration. And if I want to buy anything fancy, I know exactly who to go to. But I do like to make things for myself. But having it just starch it up a little bit, like just so I can cut better. That's going to be a huge difference for me, I think. I'm already working out what I need for the next one, an English paper piecing blanket of yet undecided size. I love the idea of English paper piecing. Why? Because you can sit on your butt on your couch and do it. Honestly, that's a big thing for me. When it comes to my craft, I don't like being pinned to a table where I have to sit up at a chair or stand, or you know what I mean. So being able to do it sitting in your, like, with your feet up and your recliner and just sit back. Like, I've actually got a little table that I can put on my lap, so I can even have a little iron there to iron it and to glue it and stuff, and still sit comfortably on my couch. So yeah. I love my couch, and when I'm crafting, I like to sit on my couch as much as possible. Sewing does not allow for that. You know, I got a comfy chair in here, and that's cool. That's a good thing, but it's not the couch, man. It's not the couch. So different seasons for different crafts. Um, Amelia, is it Bendigo? Yeah, Bendigo is awesome. Um, just to do a little signature there on that square and make it a design element. Yeah. I used to sell bags at our local yarn store, but I enjoy making them too. I love fun bags for different projects. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Leanne says I'm the opposite. I need a table and my back straight. No craft, no couch craft for me. Ah, there you go. See, when I sit at a table to craft, I always feel, I mean, I sit here every week and craft at this table. This is a bit different. I can adjust the height of this table. I can get it exactly how I want it to be. But when I'm like at my dining table, I can't. When I'm out and about, I can't. And I like to sit back and just chill. Like I tuck my little elbows in and just sit. Look, I'm going to show you this. This is exactly how I sit and craft. I'm just going to pull my big blanket out that's keeping my back warm. It's not a blanket, it's my cardigan. All right, are you ready? You ready to see exactly the I lean right back. I've got a little footstool under here and I tuck my elbows in and just craft. I'm just dangling my feet like a kid now. I'm like, I'm so comfy. This is how I do it when there's no one watching. That's it. That's how I do it when no one's watching. Either that or on my couch. They're the but on the couch I lean back, I put my feet up on a footstool, and oh, what are you having a fit about? You were on. Why were you on? Yeah. And why didn't you turn yourself off? You big baby. I'll need to check that in a minute. I might actually even just unplug him. Which way? There we go. Mine can't do anything dramatic like turn itself back on. Oh, yeah, Bendigo. It's going to be so good. One of the reasons I love my e-spinner is I can sit on the lounge and spin. I sit on my lounge and spin with my spinning wheel. I just can't lean back. I do need to lean forward. Where are we? I need leg space. If a table is too low, it's not going to work. Yeah. I look, when I'm crafting, I like to put my elbows on the table and get my craft to the right spot near my face. To purling. I want one so bad. I love my drops and my ladybug, but the possibility of spinning in my recliner, yeah. But just keep an eye out. Not all e-spinners are equal. Save up and get the one you like. Holly's like Leanne, she needs to be sitting up straight to do craft. I love that we all have our different preferences for like what's our comfy craft position. So, and that might also play into the whole crafting for relaxation thing. Like for me, I'm sitting on the couch, I've got my show on, I've got my feet up. At the moment, I'll probably be under a little couch blankie, just chilling like a villain. Just going through and getting all, oh, no, pearl time. Pearl time. I'm thinking maybe I should cast on that shawl and just do the little baby one and just get it, just start it, just stop being a whinger and just start it. So I think that'll be the next thing I start working on. I've got to finish some sleeves. I'm on Sleeve Island on two projects. I need to finish the sleeves. I'm nearly done the sleeves on my pink ranunculus. Which it's like the perfect weather to be wearing it. I'm like, dude, knit faster, pick it up, stop crocheting, stop making random stuff that you don't need to make. Just make the darn sleeves. It'd be done by now if you had just sat down and worked on it for a couple of hours. Now that I've said that, I'm like, yeah, a couple of hours that could totally be done. I should just do that. But yeah, it's just keep going. I was gifted a yarn store And with it came a lot of extremely lovely fiber. We are in a crazy life adjustment, but next year I want a year of the wheel. Nice work. Maybe we could have like a spinning session once a month on the channel where everyone pulls out their wheels. And well, not everybody, everyone who wants to pulls out the wheels, and I'll readjust my cameras because right now my craft room could not do a spinning video because of the storage situation, let's be honest. But once I got my sewing trolley, that'll fix a lot of that up. And once retreat's over, a lot of the retreat stuff will go out, which will open up a whole pile of space in here. So I'll be able to have a camera pointed in that direction. So, yes. So that's the plan, Stan. Yeah, we all have to give ourselves grace when we're learning a new thing. Absolutely, we do. Did the purlings? Did I do knittings? Yes, I did. So purlings. The knittings. Man, I love these needles so much. Oh my gosh. Have you ever bought a set of needles and then you're like, I don't think I'm going to use anything else ever again? Like, that's where I'm at. Like, some of my other projects, I'm like, oh man, I have to finish them with the needles I started with, but I just want to use these. Now I'm like, I should just buy some more of the tips. I think I've got all of the sizes under 5 mil that it comes in, which it starts at 3.25, which is also like annoying. Like, where's the rest? I want at least a 2.5, 2.25. Twos would be ideal, but I want at least 2.5, 2.75, and a 3. I'm so fussy, but that's what I want. I want some more smaller options, and it only goes up to 8 mil. So that doesn't bother me so much. I don't do much with the large end of the scale. Although I do want to get, think the 5.5 and the 6. I don't know if I've got the 5.5. I'll double check it, but I don't think I've got the 5.5. So I think I want the 5.5 and the 6. So I have to put in an order for a few more sets of tips, so that I will also order a couple more sets of swivels because I only have one set of swivels. Let me have a look here. I did shove them all in here. So what's the largest size that I currently have? 5 mils. All right, yeah. So I want the 5.5 and the 6 because I do use the 5.5 and the 6 a bit, especially ranunculuses. And I do like making ranunculuses. Ranunculi. Hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? I made it to the end without stuffing up and tinking back, or at least if I had to do it, I'd only had to do it a bit. Let's have a look here. Anyone else doing Tour de Fleece? Not this year. I'm not doing it this year. I've done it many years in the past, but just not this year. Absolutely, we do need to do a trip down. I honestly say, well, I will be flying down. I won't be driving down. It's too much time out with the driving backwards and forwards. Like, yes, you end up with your car down there, which is great, but I think it's just better for me if I just fly down. Let's have a look here. Yeah. So I made it. So Amelia did ask about retreat, and I'm waiting on confirmation back of my deposit, which I still don't have before I can put the tickets on. To the point where I actually sent them an email this morning going, hey, how firm is my booking? Like, I want to announce and start selling tickets to the retreat, but I can't until I have something a little bit more firm from you guys. So they're not the fastest at responding to emails. They're quite busy. It's like a department that handles a whole pile of stuff. It's not just a person doing stuff for one venue. There's a whole pile of venues. So I just have to be a little bit patient. But if you joined the expression of interest list, if you put in your expression of interest on that, those people will be told first about when the retreat is open for buying tickets. So the people on the expression of interest list will have first pick of the retreat. Well, not first pick, but they'll get that. They should be able to buy tickets, is what I'm saying. But again, we still have limited numbers. So, you know, I'm trying to work out. I'm going to sit down with the lady whose retreat I went to. She's done a few retreats there, and I'm going to pick her brains a little bit about a few things, and I might be able to open up an extra seat or two, depending on what she has to say. Like as in extra full tables. So like, sure, we can open up some, like those people that are willing to share a table. That's fine. We can open up some of those if we want to, but I don't know if I want too much of that. I like that we all get our own table, but you know, if you're happy to share and you want to share, that's cool too. It's a long drive from Sydney, would be double from Queensland. Yes. So when I was driving down for the Sheep and Wool Show every year, I would leave here on Tuesday morning quite early. So the actual show starts on Friday, but you're allowed to go in Thursday afternoon to set up your stall. So I would leave here Tuesday morning. I would drive from Brisbane down to Dubbo, and I would stay the night at Dubbo. That was a very long day in the car. I would stop and get out and stretch my legs, and you know, because I was driving by myself as well. So then it was also then after that, I would sleep in a little bit that day because the run from Dubbo to Bendigo was nowhere near as long. So I would get started a little later in the day, but I'd still, instead of leaving at like 5 or 6 in the morning, I would leave. No, actually, I left just as early because my brain wouldn't let me sleep. So I would still be getting up at 5 or 6, but I got to Bendigo at 3 on Wednesday afternoon. So then I would chill, relax, set up my little room where I was staying, be comfy. You know, anything I needed to do, any running around or whatever, I would get done. I'd try not to have much in the way of that. Maybe some snacks or something, hit Woolies. And then come back and just feed up and get a really good night's sleep. Then the next day, go and set up the stall. Then the next day, the next 3 days is the Bendigo thing. Then Sunday night, I started staying in Bendigo for one more night, then driving from Monday morning, Bendigo to Dubbo, then Dubbo back to Brisbane. So I would not get back until the following Tuesday. So it's a big week. It was a big week, but it was also amazing. It was absolutely awesome. Let's have a look here. Oh, you've been watching email? Awesome. That's awesome. And Kelly has put our reminder, if you are enjoying, consider becoming a channel member for the cost of a coffee per month. You can help support me. And then we have our monthly members calls for those that are coffee level and above. There's 3 different payment options. Now, keep an eye on that. I think YouTube's doing some janky stuff. So if you notice anything janky happening, let me know. Okay. I did it. I spoke too soon, didn't I? I knitted when I should have purled. And that means I purled there when I should have knitted. I can only have one good row at a time, right? That's how it works, just one at a time. But that's okay, because it's easy enough. It's a little bit of a fluffy yarn, but it's easy enough to go back and fix it up, especially when it's just right there. Yarning for a smile. Have a good one. Sleep well. Thank you for dropping in. Okay, so we knit that. Then we purl this. this. Awesomeness. Oh, get there. All right. Fixed it. This is going to be such a seriously, it's so squishy. It's so squishy. It's going to be it's going to be the blanket that the family fight over on the couch. Like, oh, I want that blanket. No, I'm having that blanket. You had it last time. It's legit going to be that, I think. So that's exciting as well. Although it is blue based, so Abby will be less inclined to use it. Why? Because she associates everything I make blue with the Blues football, which she is a mortal enemy of, even though I'm not making it for that purpose. It is classed as enemy number one. So, yes. Can't do much about that. That just means there's less people to fight over it. Right? Alrighty. I done it right. No. Pearled. I need to put this one down for a minute. And then I'm going to utilize this time. So with my little mini that I'm going to be doing, should I use lots of little scraps? Because if it's going to be steeked anyway, I wonder how, oh, man, I'm just thinking, holy dooly, I can totally go fully scrappy do on that. Because I've got lots of little tiny bits that would work for it. Oh, man. I'm going to open up the pattern. I'm not going to show you guys the pattern. If you want the pattern, you've got to buy it for yourself. But I am just going to open it up and have a look for myself and see if they've got any measurements, like any meterage for the mini one. So let me just do that for 1 second. Ravelry. In my library, download the friendship shawl. Downloading. We're downloading right now. It will look fancy with lots of tiny bits. Yes, I think it will. Geez, it's taken a hot minute. I mean, it's probably because I'm live streaming as well. Like, let's be honest. And I think this is one of the things with this particular shawl. The advantage that you get from doing the awful steeking is if you've done lots of color changes or you're using a gradient yarn or something. That's the advantage. If you're just using one single color, then why would you not just use a normal non-snippy project? All right, let's have a look here. Sizing, completely customizable. Oh, let's open it in Adobe. Let's have a look here. Let's see if there's, I'm just having a quick scrub through to see if there's any pages that I can show you. No, I'm not going to risk it. I might accidentally slip my finger and you might be able to see more. But it's actually not, doesn't look particularly difficult. I mean, yeah, there's some increasing and some decreasing instructions, but nothing that looks hard. The hard part's going to be the steeking, okay? They're like, let's make everything else easy, and then you cut your knitting. Like, yeah. My support hen, my support chicken dolly part hen is fine with the tiny leftovers for her shawl. Okay, well, I've definitely got plenty of little leftovers, but I'm just not seeing any instructions. They talk about how they have a small sample. All right, all right, all right. The small sample. I don't know. That's still the small sample is still human sized. The small sample is more like a scarf. So they don't have the tiny sample. Let me just read the instructions again. I got to go. My daughter is getting a kitten for her birthday and is keen to get. Oh my gosh. A, happy birthday. And B, I love that she's getting a kitten. I think that is so cool. All right. Now let me I'm back onto the public page so I can share that now. There we go. I'm just looking. I'm sorry. I'm not willing to have a paid pattern open on a screen and share the screen. I just think if you want the pattern, just go and buy the pattern, honestly. I'm not about to be giving away people's livelihoods. All right, let's just see if she's got any instructions here, because she's made a couple of these. That's cute. Now, what's the instructions say? Okay, so she uses about 5 or 6 grams to make the minis. Is that right? Did I read that right? Crystal Palace Mini Mochi Color 105, 5.6 and 5.7 grams, 16 grams left over. I could be reading that wrong. So I'm just trying to think, like I've got, yeah. So there's like a full shawl version. So here, if we go back to some of the other patterns, you can, oh, that's not where I want to go. Patterns. Friendship shawl. I also love that she calls it friendship shawl. Um, so that is more of the full-sized one there. And like, so does she specify it out in the projects? Let me look here. So she did hers in minis. She did the 800 meters. So that, I think that's the full size. Wow, that one came out beautifully. Give that one a heart. Um, so 1200 meters. So I think it's just a case of you can just make it as big or as small as you want based on how much yarn. Like it all starts the same in the middle and you just sort of stop. Um, I'm looking at this and this what's it called? Juniper Moon Cumulus. And it makes me think of that bliss that I've got. Like, let me just, what's the meterage on the Cumulus? 230 meters for 100 grams. Yeah, that's really similar meterage, different colors, but very similar meterage. I wonder how that would look. Anyway, I've got lots of mini skeins and like scrappy scraps. Hang on, I have my scrap bags just here. One bag of scraps and a free notepad. I was looking for that notepad. I was wondering where it went. So I've got all these like little scrappy bits of all like my hand dyed and stuff. Oh, there's my headband. I was looking for that headband. I made a headband. And I love it. And I lost it. And I can't get it on. Kelly says the tiny version would be just to stop after about 10 centimeters, surely. Yeah, so there's a small and a large in the pattern, and they are like 40 inches versus 80 inches. So neither of them are the tiny version. Keep in mind, she says use smooth yarn. Yeah, this is all classed as smooth yarn. Because I've got some bigger bits, but then I've got like a little bit, you know, and rando bits just connected. This is just my. I mean, I could probably make the full size, make myself a full size version out of what's in here. I probably could, you know, just alternating grays through it, and it could be the last of my hand dyed. But there's plenty enough there to make a little mini one to test with first, so I can do both. So yes, more tea for me. Mm. Oh, I dropped a stitch marker. There it is. Back on there. I'm pelling. So I'm having Youfoodz for lunch today. There's 3 options in the fridge. I don't even know what they are, but I'll be having one of those. So I've got a Youfoodz order coming tomorrow, right? And I picked all my meals last week, and one of the meals is not available. Which one is not available? Let me find out in the message they sent me. They're like, we make our meals fresh weekly using top-notch locally sourced ingredients, and sometimes this means if meals are not up to our standards, we'll swap it out for one just as tasty. So instead of the honey soy beef and noodles that I ordered, I will now be getting Nonna's spaghetti, which I haven't ordered the Nonna's spaghetti in years because it's awful. So I make spaghetti, and I make a nice spaghetti. Well, nice enough. Definitely better than that one. And now I'm ticked off. And it's just like, can they not look at your order history and see that, she ordered that once or twice back 11 million years ago, but she hasn't ordered it any time recently. I wonder if there's a specific reason for that. Yes, because it tastes like salt. Like, let's have a bowl of salty spaghetti with red bits. That's how I feel about the Nonna spaghetti. Also, the Mohit's butter chicken. It was nice enough, you know, as in every now and again, but every week they try to give you Nonna spaghetti and Mohit's butter chicken, and every week I take them out and put something else in instead because I don't like either of them. I think they're lame. There's so many good options. Why do we have to have the lame ones? Now this one says Nonna's spaghetti with herbs and something or other. So maybe it's a different version. I hope so, because I'm ticked off, and I'll be sending them a rude message like, dudes, how hard is it to find something remotely similar? Like, you know what's better than that? Your ragu pasta, which is a red sauce pasta with bechamel sauce and pasta. And you know, like, it's just a better red sauce. It doesn't just taste like a bowl of salt, you know. Your Nonna makes salty pasta. Don't like it. Let's have a look here. I have bacon and split pea soup leftovers for lunch. That sounds amazing. Molly's making sausage rolls. There is nothing quite like a fresh sausage roll. So good. Leanne says, I ate just now. I was hungry. Fair enough. A rice sourdough with the most delicious chutney made from cucumber, chicken, tomato, onion. So satisfying. It does sound delicious. Bianca's right. It sounds so good. And now I'm going to be having some lame-o McLame pants. Foods. It's actually, they'll be fine. The ones I've got are all been good. I've got quite a few that I actually like. It's just I get ticked off. Like, I go through the effort to specifically order meals that I like, and then they switch it out for something that's not even like it's not even like honey soy chicken. No, honey soy beef with noodles is in no way remotely similar to spaghetti bolognese. I'm sorry, it's just not. And they have plenty of other things that would be more similar. So I just don't understand. I don't understand. And I actually think that what it is not enough people ordered it, so they don't want to make it. It's not that it's not up to their standards. So, yeah. Leanne says, Molly, Molly, Molly. Oh, I want sausage rolls. They are my weakness. Pastry. Good pastry. There's nothing quite like it. Honestly, I've got a soft spot. My formative years were working in a bakery that did really solid breads and pastries. And I really miss it. Also, they had this amazing date slice that was just this really thin and crispy, like pastry. Anyway, I don't even remember how they made it, but it was so good. Yeah, you understand. It's because it's cheap. Yeah, yeah, I do understand. You're right. I do understand. It is because it's cheap. And it's just annoying. I wanted the other one. I was looking forward to the other one. Stupid, nasty, nasty nonna. Nasty nonna's salty bag of. Blech. That's how I feel about that. It's not even in a bag, and I call it a salty bag of. Blech. It's because it deserves a bag, a rubbish bag. So, yeah. Someone's going to be like, oh my gosh, their pasta tastes exactly like how my nonna makes it. And you're just like, okay. And like, do you eat that intentionally? Because, oh my God, no. Look, they do some great stuff. They have a lot of meals that I really enjoy. And I pick them each week. I go through and pick the ones I like. Plus one that Abby likes and one that Tim likes. Um, because there's a couple of nights a week where they steal my U food. So why not just get the meals they actually like? So, yeah. They do a really good smoked chicken with a side of loaded mac and cheese. It's pretty decent. It's pretty decent. The mac and cheese is solid, but it's a massive pile of chicken as well. And the yellow curry is good too. And their chicken with Singapore noodles is good as well. I don't know what it is that's in with it, but it's good. Knitting, knitting stitches now. So, what's the bet on? What are the odds that I cast on the little mini shawl instead of doing my sleeves? Like, what are the odds? And there we go. I'd be more ticked off if they gave me the buttered chicken. A holdover from pregnancy over 30 years ago is the smell of Indian makes me nauseous. Yeah, if that was the case, that'd be really disappointing. Although, what I will say is it doesn't smell much like Indian food. Like, let's be honest. It does not smell like or look like actual butter chicken that you pick up from the Indian takeout. Like, it's. And they give you this piece of naan. I use the term loosely. That's. I don't even know what it is, honestly. It's not naan. Um, I worked for a 70-year-old English baker. He made the best pork meat sausage rolls. I miss him. He had such awesome stories. He made Echo cakes and heavy molasses-based treats too. That sounds amazing. But I'm still back on sausage rolls. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I think the little mini shawl will be done really fast. And then that'll tell me straight up if I'm going to cope with making a full size version and then cutting it, really. But I think it could be a really nice way to use up the last of my hand dyed. Like, well, the last, I've still got a couple of full skeins of hand dyed, but the last of the, use up all the, where the bits of all the colours are. So I think that might be a nice sort of, like, I've got my super nice blanket, which is there with all the colours that I've used. Like for that one that Joss helped me put together for Bendigo a few years back. But it'd be nice to have a shawl, I think. Isabel says, I'd add some steamed broccoli or zucchini to that spaghetti and then it doesn't taste. You're probably right, actually. Just try and spread it out so it's not as intensely salty. I think that's actually a great decision. I've always got broccoli around. Sometimes have zucchini, but always have broccoli. It's at least there's some in the freezer. So, yeah. Well, we got a good couple of rows added on today, which was nice. Not too much backpedaling, which was also good. But I think I'm going to have to sit down after lunch with my little bag of stuff over there and just knock out the little mini one and have a go. Because I think you're right. I think it'll be a nice little palette cleanser. Sorry, I'm just patting this. So, barely put a dent on this ball, by the way. That's the advantage of knitting it over crocheting it too. But in saying that, when we were trying to work out the pattern to use up the other yarn, like the big 10 pack of the 12 balls of the Hobie yarn, and we were working out meterage on blankets, and we were like, well, we're not gonna, it's not gonna do the meterage properly. We need to bulk it out to even get a knitted blanket, and it's just, I probably could have made a crochet blanket with all the yarn I'm using to make this knitted one, to be honest. Where are you going to wear that you want to wear are? I'm not quite sure what that means. Oh yeah, I like this striping. This natural striping is really nice. I think it's really good. I'm glad we've gone with it. It looks really cool. Leanne says, I just can't imagine how you'll feel using all of your special small amounts of your hand-dyed yarn. It could get emotional, not just for you. Yeah, I think also it would be something to keep. Rather than just, I feel it's being wasted currently. It's just sitting in this bag. But yeah, it would be definitely, I think it would be better if it was in a shawl or in something that I could wear rather than just sitting there in a bag being unused. I think that's where it's playing on my mind, is it feels wasteful that it's just sitting there. If you do, I think you should video yourself steeking, want your live reaction. Oh man, I don't know about that. Like, my channel might get demonetized. Like, let's be honest. My channel might get demonetized with my actual reaction of me cutting my own knitting. Oh, yeah. I do have some really good pointy sharp scissors that I can use for the job. Oh, the ranunculus. Where do you want to wear it? Well, I'm making mine out of cotton, so it's basically going to be like an oversized knitted t-shirt, like a long sleeve shirt. So I just wear it whenever, all the time. Like whenever I feel like a pop of pink, because it's hot pink. So yeah. Yeah, you have the equipment, you have no excuses. I do have the equipment. And I'll be honest, to steak something, I will absolutely be sitting at a table. So I could probably sit here with this camera recording it. Um, yeah, I could absolutely be doing it just right here and just be, because it's also, I've got good light in here. Um, I don't get jostled elbows in here. It's snip. So yeah. Leanne says, I remember when Kylie did it, I was screaming watching her. Yeah. Oh, do you need a date for your goal to finish it? The ranunculus, no. I was hoping just to wear it in cooler weather, that's all. But um I'm not too worried about it, honestly. I just don't like that it's just sitting there nearly done. I should like I finished all the bottom. I've just literally got the sleeves to do. So I should sit down and finish that and just get it done. Um, could have music and not audio. Look, depending on the language, it may end up having to be exactly that way. Honestly, although I probably wouldn't swear too much because I probably wouldn't talk. I'd be holding my breath, going. Like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, no, oh no. Like I can imagine what it would be like. So yes. But also it looks like so doable. Like I watched the Instagram of the designer. She did the little snippety of a little mini one and showed you how to do it. And it looks so doable. It doesn't look too scary. Except for the whole scissors and your knitting thing. A stiff drink beforehand. I'll definitely need something to stop my hands from shaking. Like, oh no, snip in the wrong place. But yeah, so it's a bit nerve wracking. But also I think it will be the first stick is the hardest. I think it is. Put the stitch markers where you need to stop. Yeah, I think there's lots of ways to guide you. It's just a case of just getting rid of the fear and actually just cutting. Um, yeah, but also because it's something so small, I don't. It's not like I've knit an entire sweater and then need to steek in for sleeves only to screw that up. Do you know what I mean? Like I think because I get to do the little test piece first, I can get rid of all the nervous energy into that and then go forward. So I'm actually looking forward to this. Um so yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it, and yeah, yeah. It should be called yoking. Yoke. Um but no, it's I think like with this, like does anybody else watched her Instagram video of her cutting the steak in? Like I just think it could I think it just she made it look so doable, honestly. And because of how you knit it, you don't have to put in like um you don't have to go back and crochet over anything. You don't have to go and hit it with your sewing machine to stay all the edges or anything like that. It's been knitted, designed for this exact thing to happen. So yeah. Bianca says I'm looking forward to you doing it. Yes. Alrighty, my friends, it is time for me to go. I've got to get on and have some lunch and then do some other bits and bobs before I go out tonight. And I will catch you all later. Have an awesome week. Keep an eye on the socials. There might end up being a little video of me steaking up here somewhere. Maybe not, but maybe it will happen. Also, if you've filled out the expressions of interest form, please keep an eye on your inbox. The second I can release the tickets, I will. I'm just a bit nervous about, like I've been told the booking's mine, but I'm a bit nervous about releasing the tickets until I get confirmation of the deposit. But I will catch you all later. Have a good one. Bye now.